All right, welcome back. This is a gang story, and gangs mean I worked in a suit and tie with other guys, and we would be the first responders to any kind of a gang incident or shooting. And let me set this up because some of it I observed, about half of it. The other half I was told. So let me tell you what happened. So you know, because I want to tell you that these stories, 90. I'm guessing now about 98 of my RealCopStoriesVideos.com site are what I did. I personally saw. 2 or 3% of those stories. We have 180 some on there now. Look them up. Was stuff that I got part of it, or some of it, or I heard from a really reliable partner. So I'm going to let you know that, so you don't think that I did some of this stuff. There was a mom and pop market, and we call it a mom and pop market because it's a market, but it's in an area in the middle of a residential area, way back before the zoning laws and stuff. It was just basically go down the street, and there's kind of rolling hills, and it's all just homes. And then you have a market sitting there. They wouldn't allow it now because everything has to be zoned. And it's a nice sized market, but it's a Latino area, so the market has a small area for butchery or butchers, for Mexican meat and all that stuff. For unusual food that Latinos eat. Sesos, brains, lengua, tongue, all kinds of stuff. Tripa. There's poor stories about that, eating those kind of burritos that I pay jokes on other partners. It's all beef. Come on, it's all beef. Anyway, that's all I'm gonna say. It's all beef. So anyway, so it's a small market, and the owner is a local gentleman, and he hires some people to work there. Some people he hired are undocumented aliens, and they don't really know the laws that well. They don't know what's going on. They're just there to sell food and beer and stuff. Okay, it's basically just a small market with beer, and mostly beer because that's what we drink. Anyway, so he instructed his guy, the counter guy, I'll just call him a counter guy. Doesn't matter what legal status he is. That nobody, if you have any trouble, there's a gun behind the counter because he's been robbed like a year ago, and he has a .357 Magnum behind the counter. And he instructed the guy, look, if somebody pulls a gun, try to just get their name and don't try to do anything, and try to tell him not to use it unless you absolutely have to. Well, this is not a citizen, so he doesn't really know what to do. So 2 gang members come in, and one fat one and one skinny one, and they go in and they start stealing beer. Okay, it's beer theft. Skinny guys, both of them go in, they're taking beer, and they walk out and they put it in the car. So the guy's telling the counter's guy, he says, hey, he comes around from the counter, goes, hey, you can't be doing that, you're going to pay for it? We ain't paying for nothing. The fat guy's yelling, we ain't going to pay for anything. And so as they're coming out with a second load of beer, the clerk confronts him, and there's a little altercation, and because he wants to say, you can't take the beer. And so now the fat guy is swinging on him, and he's hitting him in the head, and the counter guy's trying to cover himself because he's not even in this country. He just here to try to make a living or whatever. And of course, the skinny guy, this is what I heard from the witness. This stuff I heard. I didn't see any of this. I'll tell you when I come in. The witness is laughing, and as this is going on, the skinny guy's laughing. As this big guy's beating up the clerk, he's taking out more beer. He could care less. Okay, so now we saw this clerk. He's all bloody, broke his nose and busted his jaw. Now he gets the counter, and this fat guy's just beating him. Okay, and all that. So first thing he thinks, there's a gun behind the counter. Okay, so he's getting beat up really bad because I saw him. He reaches back behind the counter, pulls out this Magnum and puts 3 right in the 10 ring. Okay, boom, 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 right in the chest. Okay, the fat guy backs up and falls in the doorway, and the skinny guy looks and he goes boom, another one for good measure as the skinny guy's turning to run and shoots him in the back. Okay, and the bullet severed his spine. We found this out later. So the skinny guy goes down. Okay. And so the owner, this store, there was an upstairs where people lived, the owner lived, was all the shooting going on. Obviously he couldn't hear the fighting, but he heard the shots fired. So he comes down. Citizens heard the shots fired, and the call came out, we heard the call come out, shots fired at the market. We figured it's a robbery, which turned out it was, but not connected to the gunfire. Okay? So we're not very far away because it's a gang area, kind of. It's got some splinters of gang houses around there. So we roll to it, man, because that's what we do. We're supposed to be the first responders to this thing. And we were the first ones there. We roll up, we get out, we got our guns out. Well, this is unusual because usually in a robbery, we see a guy on the ground laying there, and we're looking around, and then the owner's standing there. He's waving at us, and he's got the gun, thank goodness, held by the barrel. So so we saw him with the gun. Give me the gun. We put it in our car. What's going on? What's going on? And that's when he tells me the story about what happened. And this clerk, and they called for the paramedics were also there. The clerk's just covered in blood. Okay, you can see his nose is up to the side. And he's beat up pretty bad. So we hear this story. So now other units are arriving. The supervisor arrives, and this all happened within a few minutes. Now very fast. We get there, and then the ambulance shows up about a minute, and here's the supervisor. It's all happening pretty fast. So So we're taking information because we're pretty sure this guy's dead. He's not moving. The paramedics get there and they go to him, and we're looking to see what's going on. And they look up and they go like this, no, he's done. Okay, so, okay, fine. So a couple more minutes go by, and we talked to the counter guy, and he goes, yeah, and there was another guy about the other guy he shot at. And I said, well, okay, fine. So supervisor says, well, should we check the area? Yeah, so we got units checking the area for a second guy. Got a description. And so my partner just happened to look down, and here's the dead guy in the doorway. He's a big guy. He's like 300 pounds. Okay, a big gang member, like 19 years old. And there's blood, of course, because Magnum rounds, man, it blow your hole. It's big. We see blood going down, and it's not his blood. We see blotches. And we both go, hey, look, there's blood here. Maybe they got hit. Maybe he hit the guy. And we thought maybe the guy took off running or ran around the corner. So we're going to go check. Okay, well, the store's up here, and you're looking into the store. Here's the dead guy. And the trail goes down the sidewalk goes down to another level. So we see blood. So you can't see over the rise. So we said, well, we're going to check it. Okay, so we walk down there, and sure enough, man, the bottom of this hill, there's he laying there. He's crawling, this guy, So we see that, and we yell back, suspect 2, and run down the hill, and we grab him. We didn't know he was hurt. We just thought knew he was shot. We didn't know how bad. Okay, so we run up to him, we cuff him. He's the guy, obviously. So he goes, I've been shot. He's yelling and screaming at us because these are gang members, okay? They don't care. There's another story on the RealCopStoryVideos.com where the guy was shot up and he don't want to tell us who shot him, okay? Look that one up. Pretty sad. But anyway, so he's screaming at us and, I can't move my legs. And then we're looking like, oh, okay. Because now we know what they did and we're cops. We go, you know what? This is justice then. You come in here and steal, beat up somebody, your buddy gets killed and you lose your leg. So you know what? Don't do it, okay? So we're there now. Some more units have arrived, and now we have to stand by. And the ambulance comes to this guy, and they're checking him out, and they roll him over, and they're basically, you know how they have a little spindle with pricks on it. They check your feet, see if you have any reaction. They got his shoes off. They're checking that, and they're looking over at me because they can see the back. He's got a bullet hole in the back, and they're going, I think he's paralyzed. They don't know yet because they're just paramedics. They're not doctors, but they're going, ooh, because there's no reaction here, nothing. Oh well, whatever. Okay, so real detectives show up. We're just guys working a gang unit, but real detectives show up, and so they're over. Another witness is this second suspect, along with the counter guy. So to corroborate what the counter guy said, they're talking to this guy, and he goes, "Well, we just came to get some beer. We were going to pay." Sure, you were. Okay, yeah, you were. And and what about my friend? And of course, being detectives, they go, "He's dead." And go, what? I mean, there's no slack here, man. You're not talking to some poor victim of a crime where you have to go to the house and talk to a widow or no, they're your Karen. Here, these are idiots, okay? And then I'm looking over and the detective goes, yeah, okay, now what happened? And well, when the guy shot at you guys and your buddy went down and you went down, right? Yeah, I fell right next to him. I've known him for 5 years. What did your friend say? The bad guy? What did your buddy say? Did he say anything? Yeah. What did he say? He went, No, I'm not laughing at the fact that the poor kid died, but I'm laughing because he actually is trying to tell us what he said, okay? And we're looking like this, and I turned away and my partner and I looked at each other. We passed the psychological test, but sometimes, you get a little loci. We kind of went, so what did he say? And now he's saying it louder. Okay, I get it. Basically, what he sounded, what he heard was the death sound. That's pretty much what it was. The guy was probably trying to say something, and he's dying. He's got 3.5 magnums at him. He's not going to last very long. I'm sure. We ripped open his shirt. We ripped open his shirt because we heard he was shot, and we could see 3 bullets right here. I mean, it was really, he shot him at point blank range. I mean, really. Even the shirt had burn marks on it. Okay, that's how close it was. Okay. So, all right, so they took him away and cuffed him because they're going to arrest him. Another unit took off on him, and we're there with the detectives helping them because we're kind of like helpers now because we're not really detectives. And it was wrapped up pretty quick. I mean, we had, quick in the sense, didn't last all night. It lasted like 6 or 7 hours because we had to wait for the coroner to show up and crime scene, all that stuff. Took the gun, of course, didn't mean it. We're going to give the gun back. This is not a crime. This is self-defense. And so they're all worried about the guy being deported. Well, he had papers, so he wasn't, even though he was here during the transition of being a citizen, nothing's going to happen here. This is, when you commit a crime like this, and also, as a little bonus, we actually wound up booking him. We booked a skinny guy for murder. Because whenever you're involved in a crime where the murder occurs and you're the suspects and one of your buddies gets blown away by the cops or by some citizen, you get charged with that crime. And I think it's correct. They should have, if they had committed this crime, his buddy would be alive today, or they come out with, $12 to pay for the stinking beer, they'd be alive. But they're just big macho gang members. And sure, you're macho, all right. One's dead, one's paralyzed. And he was, in fact, paralyzed. I went to the preliminary hearing. I took about a month to get to the hearing because he had medical issues. But when we got there, it was determined, they already told us that he was paralyzed from the waist down. So there you are. Now, I'm sure he'll tell his homies that he got in a gang shooting and all that shit stuff. That's how he's paralyzed. Instead of just telling people he stole beer. Okay. They won't tell people that story. Okay. But anyway, that's an interesting story. And that sound that when he's trying to describe his buddy was, I hate to feel like I'm laughing, but I did laugh. And I'm not proud of it, but it's the way it happens. The way it hit me. Anyway, so I hope you enjoyed that story, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.